Good morning and welcome. It's Anna here, and I want to continue to work on this junk journal that I fondly have been calling Elizabeth and Ludwig. Yeah. So yesterday I attached this photo. I gilded the edges a bit and I attached it to the front cover, and I picked out some pages from the original text block. And then in the evening I decided to go ahead and reinforce them. As you can see, I have been using washi tape. I ran the washi tape over the glue stick first so it would really stick, and if there was more cracks in the center, I would put washi tape on both sides. So that's why it's called Elizabeth, by the way. Elizabeth Lindquist got this at Christmas Eve 1898. And if you wonder, hey, why on Christmas Eve? It's because I live in Sweden, and in Sweden we don't celebrate Christmas Day, we celebrate Christmas Eve. So that's why. Anyway, I have 11 of these pages from the original text block, and I am going to mark them with what's it called? Page flags. And I'm gonna pick red, of course, because it's a red book. I am thrilled to be making a red book again, and my pen is here. So that's one thing I'm gonna do today. I'm also going to do the tea-dyed papers. I'm gonna add brads, and I'm gonna make a collage for the back side of the journal. So I think that will be all we have time for today, but we have a number one. And what I usually do is that this is just to keep my, if you're new here, hi, welcome. This is a way for me to keep track of which signature I am working in and making sure that I get the signatures kind of even. And yeah, so that's and the reason I make an arrow is that I have actually sewn in a signature upside down and had to take it out. So this is just a precaution from my side, because you never know when your menopausal brain will kick in, right? It's a day-by-day thing for me. Some days I feel like I'm 25, and some days I feel like I'm 75. So that's my way of handling this not so fun period of your life. But hey, it's always someone who has worse problems than you, right? At least I live in a country where we're not in war with anyone. We're being quite neutral, and we are doing okay. So I think I might be happy for that and try not to get too involved. I avoid watching the news right now. Yeah, I try to just stay in my craft room and be happy. I don't want this to be the last one, so I'm gonna switch it out for this one. I think I might switch around more. Okay, we have numbered our signatures. That's good. One thing down. I'm gonna put this back. Now I'm gonna do the not eco dye. I have been eco dyeing and unraveling my eco dyeing fabric bundles. That's why my fingers are so dirty. And I made the mistake, because it was a mistake, to put in. I have bought some pigment powders to use to just get a little bit of the brown yellowish tones away from my fabrics and papers. And I took out the dark blue, and I thought I would add just like a knife's edge of it. Just dip the knife and put it in, and that was too much for my 2-liter batch of water. Everything turned dark blue. So even my fingers, so you can see where I have cracks in my fingers. Anyway, I will do a video on that as well, or I have been filming, and I will continue to film one once they are dry. I'm gonna show you guys what I have decided to do. Is these are not big enough, they won't be full-size pages, so I'm gonna do every other signature. I'm gonna have a page from the original text block first, and then this size paper inside. And the next signature, I'm gonna have a full size, and that will be a tea dyed or coffee dyed with stencil on. So I'm gonna do every other one. So I'm gonna start by just folding these, which are single pages, or A4 size is, we use the metric system in Sweden. I don't know if A4 and A5 or B5 and these sizes are specific to the metric system. I'm not sure, but I think in US we use like letter size and such. We don't. So I have these ready, and I have counted them, so there should be 6 of these, and one is already used. Perfect. And then I have just picked out a bunch of A3 size papers that I dyed outside this summer, and they're not perfect in any way, but I'm gonna use them anyway. So what I'm gonna do is that I am going to get out my cutter. It's a Fiskars cutter, and I am going to, I'm trying to keep everything over here because the sun decided to come out. I don't like this. I'm gonna measure. I need a template. Can you give me a template, please? The book down here, can you give me a template? Let's use the Bambino. So I'm going to cut it to size, about there, and then I'm going to fold it in so that we have flip outs, because I love flip outs and tippings and interactive things. I am really all into that, and this will not get thrown out. It will be going into all kind of crafty things. So I don't have a big scoreboard. I have a small scoreboard, really small, so it doesn't really help for this. So I'm going to use this as my scoreboard. I'm going to see my mark. I'm going to use my handy dandy bone folder and just push along the edge of the cover. So there I have my scoring. Perfect. I'm going to fold it and flatten it. Fold it and make sure the fold is crisp. So there we have the second folio, and that's what it's going to look like. I might decorate this even more, but where did I put the finished ones? Here it is. Sometimes I'm just, I said I had a good day today, right? my menopausal brain just kicked in. So once again, the small one in there. Now I'm taking a big one again. Oh, and I'm getting a sip of coffee because my brain just shut down. More like a big gulp. I've had lots and lots of fun tea dyeing. and coffee dyeing this summer. I watched the video Carol, a friendly quail, my dear friend. Hi Carol. She did tea dyeing at her desk, and she used stencils. She painted she used one of those foam brushes and painted on the coffee, added a stencil and painted on again. And I decided to do my take on that, so I went outside. I have a big table outside my patio. I put down my big cut up sheet. I have all the bed sheets that got destroyed over here. My kids are quite violent sometimes. They get, they get torn. So I have one of those. I spread it out, and I had a bath, and I dunked in a whole bunch of papers in the bath, and then I let it sit for a little while, and I put them out on the table, put stencils on, and then I painted. And the painting after putting the stencil on is quite crucial, because if I don't paint, I realized there won't be much of an imprint, even though it's really sunny and hot outside. So that's something I learned. So that's my version, and I might do a video next year when it's sunny again, because now it's starting to feel like autumn here. The temperatures are down around 15 degrees Celsius, and it's not especially nice outside. This one had a really faint pattern. I like it anyway. Yeah, so that's one thing I did a lot of this summer, and I also did the same procedure but without the stencils. I just dunked a whole bunch of papers in. I didn't put them in one by one. I dunked a whole bunch of them, and then I took them out. I flipped them over and made the most fantastic bubbles on my paper, since it got air bubbles. So I'm happy I tried that as well, and it's really made the process so much easier. And when I did my big batches and didn't dye them with stencils, just dye them plainly, I also took them out in whole bunches and popped them on the table. I let them dry, and then flipped them over. And when I felt that the top ones were getting dry, I moved them off. And it was such a streamlined process, and it really got good results. So I am definitely writing that down in my book of ideas. I have a book where I write down things, recipes for eco dyeing, or ideas for coffee dyeing, or ideas for pages, or names of people's channels, or something like that. Yeah, so that's what I did. I think I'm moving that way. Can you feel that? Sorry about that, but the sun decided to go hide behind the clouds again, so it's okay, I think. Just gently. Yeah. Anyway, I have just been babbling on. How are you guys today? I hope you're doing good. I am excited about this journal. I can feel it starting me. I'm getting ideas, what I want to do with it. And I think it's going to be like a story of the life. Kind of like. I did that another book. I believe it was red as well. My first one, Frederick and I can't remember her name. I believe it was the first one this year. I think I'm gonna make one a bit like it. So it will be interesting. I think. So I'm starting to think a bit about what I want to add. If I want to do something special for my use it or lose it, for instance, ephemera for it, or if I want to do something else. Now I can put this away. This is kind of a straightforward process. I usually aim to have at least 6 pages in my signatures, mostly because I like many signatures with fewer pages. But that's my usual goal anyway, to have it around 6 pages in each, so make them about kind of even. But then I also feel how thick they are, what kind of papers I added. So here we are. Now we have 2 folios in each signature, and it's 11 signatures, so it will be a thick book. The spine is about 4 centimeters, so I still have the old textbook in. So I want to find some fun end papers. So as you can see, I need plenty of more papers. What I want to do now is that I said I'm gonna use, I'm gonna do my brads here, and I'm gonna do a collage. But I think I'm gonna start with the collage. Actually, I have picked out a few things. I have my, this is a quite small, here I have several of the Tim Holtz Curator snippets. They are absolutely fun to use. They're small, you can use them in the collages, you can use them as just giving images a bit of extra. You can put an image on like that, or yeah, I use them all the time. And this is one new packet and one that I already almost finished. So I think I'm going to stock up, because I never want to run out of these. And with Tim Holtz, you never know how long things are going to last, right? And I also, because I am so afraid to run out of them, I also bought, I have shown this before, the stamps, the Curator stamps. Here they are, all of them. And this is CMS 493. And I have stamped my own in different colors. I have them in a different bowl. I have different. And when I get kind of cardstock, I always stamp these, because they're so nice to use. And then I cut them out. And my first time stamping, I used the whole block. I just inked it and plumped it down. But then I started to use them one by one, and now they are starting to go apart. Anyway, that was a sidetrack. Sorry about that. Anyway, I have picked out a few things. So I have picked out one of the Tim Holtz ones. I have picked out one that I stamped myself. And I fussy cut one label out of this book. This I got from Amazon, I believe. Yeah, I don't buy much on Amazon. It's not so cheap in Sweden to buy there. Catherine at Sunnyside Journals had this, and I immediately realized it's a really good source of labels, different sizes, colors. I have used some of them, not many, but I'm happy to have it. Yeah, so this is also a good good find if you don't do printables, which I seldom do. It's the channel I Love Paper, Ilopa, that makes them. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a little collage with my chosen things. At first I thought I was gonna use a stamp as well, but I don't know. I might. I will need ink, distress ink. And which one is on top today? Vintage photo. I store all my distress inks upside down like this, because then they don't dry out as quickly. And I want my little dauber, and I'm gonna ink these up because I love the grungy style. And at first I thought that I was going to cover up the title up here, Ord och Bild. The 1893 would stay, but I wanted to cover up that. But I'm not sure anymore, because this is a gold gilded spine, and if I want to cover it up, it will have to be something that matches it a bit. And the thing I found, which is also from the same book as that, is one of these, which was the same size, and that doesn't match. This is for a grungy journal, not for a pretty journal, so I might leave it as it is. Let's put some ink on this as well, and if we don't use it on the back, maybe we can use it inside the journal. This is King Oscar, maybe the second. I'm more into the Gustavs. More coffee? Yes, please. So I just want to make a little collage here. I like to do something on the back of my journal so they don't look naked. Can do one up here. I'm gonna glue these down because I think I want them like that. And then we'll see. Oh, here's my glue. Here is my glue. So you can do whatever you like. Sometimes I use the small mini Tim Holtz paper dolls. I love using those, and sometimes I use them. The mini ones are on the back as well. I have done a few times. I have added flowers, stamps, butterflies, all kind of stuff. Because, as I said, I don't like leaving it naked. I like it to be a bit of to have some interest. I like that format, you see. I like this one as well, typeslide. Let's do that instead. I want to use a stamp. This one comes from my mother-in-law. I got her whole stamp collection. She had a big one from when she was younger. I'm so grateful. She is so nice to me. When she goes to thrift stores, she looks out for things she knows I like and use. So at the weekend, we are thinking about taking our trailer and go camping. Just for 2 days, 2 nights. It would be fun. We haven't done that as much this summer. So we'll see. And if we do, I might do some thrifting. Yeah, that's nice. I'm happy about that. Let's do the bags. And now I want something soft underneath so I don't wreck this. and I might use, I'm gonna use my phone book. But it isn't a phone book, it's a postal code book. And this is from 1992. This is my parents' old, and as you can see, I have used it a lot. But I like it. I like using it. So I'm just gonna smash. I'm gonna put one brad in each corner, and let's hope I have the strength to go all the way through. Oops! I was afraid that was gonna happen. Okay. Well, I might need to buy a new awl. Just might. Yes, I went through. Perfect. So let's see how many times I'm gonna get my awl stuck in this book before I am finished. That went through, right? Yeah. But I've had this since I started junk journaling, and that was 2016, December 25th, 2016. That's when I made my first junk journal. I started my first junk journal. So next year, in December, it will be 10 years. Nope, that's not true. I'm gonna have to put a bit more weight behind that. Yeah. So nice looking at my elbow, right? Okay, that's twice. I might have to do something. I can see the glue has got loose. Maybe I will have to buy a new one, or maybe I can mend this one. I'm gonna ask my husband. And I have a cork to keep it from pricking me. So now I have made 4 holes. I'm going to flip it over, and as you can see, we got those volcanoes here, and I'm gonna try to get rid of those a bit, because I don't want to add extra bulk underneath end papers. So I'm gonna do like that, and I'm going to gently just reopen the hole a bit. So cutting it down. That almost closes the hole, so I'm gonna just reopen it a bit. And this is probably not the right way to do this, the scientifically right way, but it's my way. And I have another thing I want to do as well. I'm gonna just get rid of paper. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm going to just try to smash it down a bit and make it go back into the book. Yeah. So let's see if we can get some brads in here then. And I'm going to start with the gold ones. I know they're small, but I'm hoping they can work anyway. Because why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I also realized that I have this box of really old ones, and dusty box. I found this thrifting, and they are golden-ish, but they are really long. Really long. These are the real deal, and they will need a much bigger hole, so I'm not so tempted on those. So let's try the small ones. See if they want to go through, or if I want to. I think I'm gonna have to do a bit bigger hole actually. Yeah, it was probably my flattening it on the other side that destroyed it. So let's try and get these in. Yeah, that will look nice. And let's see if I can fold them out on the other side then, because this is thick. Oops, that one folded, not so good. Maybe I need to even make it even bigger. See, I can't get that one in. Maybe it's too crooked now. Yeah, I'm gonna get another one. Keep your fingers crossed that this will work. Is there something in the way there? No, it worked. Okay. So I'm gonna try and see if I can open these up. It's not much sticking out, but I think I'm gonna make it. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And all can be used for all kind of things. Maybe that's because that's why it's called an awl. And I know it's not that, but I think it's funny. My all-purpose tool. And try to smudge it. Yes. I am happy, I think. There we go. So I'm trying to, and I am going to cover these with some washi tape before I put the end papers on, so they don't scratch my papers. Look at that. That is so pretty, just like I imagined. And the back. Yay! And we have started our signatures. So next step here is to find more papers. Fantastic. I feel so happy. I thank you guys for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know the drill. Give it a thumbs up. Say hi down below. I will say hi back. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll be back soon with another video. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.